Duval.
Duval. My bad.
Yes. I mean, and I want you to understand something. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of history because I want to build you up. Before we had the Mason-Dixon line, one of the first places for runaway slaves to get free was in the First Coast, an area called Fort Mose, which is right north of St. Augustine. Yeah. This is an area where our ancestors would run to for safety and freedom. So when she couldn't go north, pertaining to Harriet Tubman, we had ancestors who were running south to get here to be free. Another thing I want to share with you is that we got so much history here in Jacksonville. When you look at slavery, when it ended in 1865, the first historically black college or university is right here in Duval, called Edward Waters College. So when we could not go to their school, well, I'm talking about before Plessy versus Ferguson, I'm talking about before Brown versus Board of Education, our ancestors said, well, if you can't teach us, we will teach ourselves. Wow. I want you to understand before desegregated Major League Baseball, the National League for Colored Baseballists was right here in Duval. Before they would allow our ancestors, I want you to understand something. Our ancestors were not allowed to go to white doctors and white physicians. So what did they do? They sent us to veterinarians. One of the first hospitals, and some of you elders may know this, one of the first hospitals that was for our ancestors is called Brewster's. Right here in Duval. First black sheriff, Nat Glover, from Duval. The fastest man in the world by the name of Bullet Bob Hayes, right here in Duval. Lady said, listen, if you're not going to feed my people, I'll feed my people. Started her own mission, one of the first black females who wasn't selling a hair care product, by the name of Clara White, right here in Duval. They use this term called the Bold City because black folks were starting to thrive and white folks were moving out. So they found a way to circumvent us and to put us in areas where it was hard for us to thrive. But under 100 years later, we got our first black mayor by the name of Alvin Brown. Our city is rich with history, is rich with vigor, but they want us to stay in a sedated state. And I'm just trying to be like Jesus and put out a clarion call for us to wake up. We have to participate in local politics. Once again, when we look at issues, our president was black. The Lambo was blue. Now, I ain't going to say the rest. But what I'm getting at is that when you look at this thing from a national perspective, most folks are taught national government. We got to go to the president. We got to go to Trump. All right? We got to go to Trump. We got to go to Obama. We got to go to Obama. We got to go to Bush. We got to go to Bush. We go to Reagan. You can go to any president you want to. But the issue is that they don't serve you on a local basis. Our children are not taught local government in school. They're not taught local civics in school. So therefore, they have never been conditioned to participate in local politics. Now watch this. I want you to get this, okay? When you look at a city council person in Africa, that would be your tribe, your tribal chief, okay? And we have been conditioned from a European mindset. The European mindset is that the people serve the king, okay? In African culture, the king serves the people. Let's look what Jesus says. Let the greatest among you be the servant to you all. See, when people say we got too many chiefs and not enough Indians, it's because they don't know who they are. You find ways to serve your people when you are connected to them. You find ways to serve your people when you are committed to them. Now, I'm about to say some stuff to you that y'all probably have not thought about, or you thought about it and y'all haven't put it together. You got to understand that in our district, we have more influence in our district than they do in any other district in this city. I want you to get this. Everything with the letter J is here in this district. When you look at Jacksonville Housing Authority, it's right here in District 7. When you look at Jacksonville Electric Authority, it's right here in District 7. When you look at Jacksonville Transportation Authority, it's right here in District 7. You look at Jacksport, it's right here in District 7. When you look at Jacksonville International Airport, it's right here in District 7. When you look at the Jacksonville Zoo, it's right here in District 7. When you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, right here in District 7. When you look at all the money that flows from Jacksonville International Airport to the Jacksonville Stadium, you got to understand there's so much money being put out to help reinvest and reinvigorate, to revitalize. And my thing is, I want to make sure some of that money flows to your house. And you say, well, how does that money flow to my house? Thank you for asking. I want to make sure that we have opportunities pertaining to employment. We don't have to write the president. We can do it right here. One of the things that I've learned is we're one of the few cities that has a river. We're one of the few cities that has a beach. We're one of the few cities that has a port. Everybody talking about we could be the next Atlanta. No, Atlanta could be like us. Atlanta is not a port city. What I got to do is I got to wake up enough men, I got to wake up enough women to say, you know what? If we got a port, why aren't we shipping anything? I went to Jerusalem. When I went to Jerusalem, they took us to see the Sea of Galilee. They took us to go see the Dead Sea. And they said the reason why it's called the Dead Sea is because it has no outlet. When you look at the Sea of Galilee and you look at the Jordan River, what happens is it starts at the top of Mount Carmel and the water comes through the Sea of Galilee, but then it comes out at the other end. See, if all you're doing is coming in and coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, you're going to end up dead. All we have at Jacksport is a bunch of import. We have no export. When you look at this, we have products and services. I see the vendors in the back. It's great to be able to distribute your product with us. But can you imagine if we were able to distribute our products with Jamaica, our products with Trinidad, our products with South America, our products with Asia? We're one of the few cities that have a port. All we got to do is put enough stuff on a container and ship it somewhere. Now we're talking about a global economy, and it affects you right here. We're talking about a $62 million deficit in Duval County School Board. And then I started thinking to myself, Jacksonville Electric Authority has its own science curriculum that matches Common Core standards. Why in the world are we still buying textbooks when we got a local city-owned corporation that provides science materials for its schools? We could be, y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Come on, come on, come on.
Why in the world do we have Jacksonville International Airport, but it doesn't fly anywhere international? Can you imagine if we were able to revitalize that customs area? And we got little small flights going into Haiti. We got little small flights going into Jamaica. We got little small flights going into Colombia. We got little small flights going into the Caribbean. And people say, why do you want the small flights? Because we got to start somewhere.
Yes, sir. Come on.
We got people driving 2 hours and $30 in tolls and 2 hours in driving and $10 a day in parking to go to Orlando to fly to Nassau, Bahamas.
That's right.
I say keep that money right here.